does 16-year-old me have to say? Dear Journal, I hate my life. I had a boyfriend for a month who I was madly in love with, because you could totally be madly in love with somebody after a month. But he broke my heart, and now I'm sad because my wrist stopped bleeding. I was depressed for 2, maybe 3 months. After my last entry, I almost killed myself. I'm a lot less depressed. I feel like I'm being watched. I have to look around every second to make sure I try not to be afraid, but I can't lie. I am afraid. My mind, however, is an endless chain of nothingness. I would give so much to have my mind just shut up for a moment. Oh, where's the one where I cried on it? There it is. Page that I cried on. I'm so depressed today. I have begun to think, I guess I had a crush on this guy. What if Scott really doesn't want to be my friend? He has been avoiding me since I talked to him. I really do feel stupid to think that we could get close in any way. God, I was so stupid. Everything has been in my computer journal. I'm experiencing a sort of shell shock of my past. For more details, see computer journal. I don't even know where that computer journal went. Can I have one that doesn't have something to do with being infatuated by some stupid person? I never finished this one either. Okay, wait. My tooth just broke. I was eating candy and it just broke. This is the back though, so it doesn't hurt anyway. But the last page I wrote in it after reading the whole thing. This is what I said. Oh my glob, I just read 4 journals from age 10 to 18. Holy shit. I'm so in love with this guy. He broke up, but I'm in love with this guy now. Or, we broke up and now I'm in love with this guy. And that went on and on. I learned how love feels. Real love. Obviously, I have a different journal with my updates. I'm just writing this to older me. I'm on meds now, so my mind is kept sane, quote unquote. But man, I just relived years of my past that I don't remember, and now I feel weirded out. Alright, well, let's go to 10-year-old me, shall we? So, I bought this in 5th grade from a book thingy. Oh my god! My handwriting is so bad! And my drawings! My life is a dull life, yes sirree. My life is a dull life, yes sirree. There ain't no doubt about it. My life is a dull life. My life is a dull life, yes sirree. First happiness was eating away my soul. Now it's misery's turn to take a bite. I had spelled soul, S-O-A-L. More. Some people say love is just pain and lies. Me, I say love is only pain and lies until you find your true love. Many times you will think you have found true love, but it all comes back and stabs you in the heart. Love is gained and then it's lost, then loneliness is taken. We fear both life and death alike, but also our hearts breaking. But after we find true love, the heart begins its singing. The life we had before ends and a new life is beginning. Oh my god. Silently waiting for you to be dead. Oh, I had a death list. People I wish would die. Caitlin Rakowski, Christina Trenga, Katherine Johnson, my mother, my grandmother, all the friends of my grandmother, and Lance, apparently, because he broke up with me. Yeah. Erin used to hear voices. She was schizophrenic. She thought the voices were real, so I'd spend hours a day listening to her scream at her voices. She would ask me if I could hear them too. I couldn't. The day I was finally taken away from her, we had gotten evicted. She couldn't pay the rent. Imagine that. So we were living with my grandmother. And one morning, Erin was supposed to take me to school, and she was shouting at me, and it woke Grandma up, and Grandma called the police. And I was taken to school by the end of the school day. This was in February. Oh my god, what day was it? I think it was the 10th. February 10th. After I got off of school, I was legally taken away from Aaron. And I became a foster child. And that's why I hate February 10th. Teachers and counselors not helping. I was bullied to the point where I wanted to kill myself. I had so many cuts on my wrist. Remember the video I did where I was like, holy shit, look at my arm. Oh, dude, look.
Hello,
look at my wrist.
My name is
Holy shit. Holy fucking... I told... In all of my schools, I told the teachers, you know, they always say, if you're being bullied, come to a teacher. I told them. I told the counselors. I told them exactly who was doing it and what they did. Nobody ever helped. And those of you who are bullied know how it is. No one helps you, do they? Nobody helps you. And they wonder why so many bullied people fucking kill themselves. Forced therapy. I was forced into therapy for 7 years. Because of Aaron. I was forced into therapy while I was still in custody of Aaron by Child Protective Services. Guess who also didn't listen that Aaron was abusing me? Child Protective Services. No, I was just put into therapy. I hated it. It didn't help. It made me, because I was forced. I didn't want to be there, you know? Nobody listened to me. Nobody thought about what I wanted. I'm just, not having enough food. When I lived with Erin, we had barely enough food. She had food stamps probably once a month. We'd get a cardboard box with some food in it. Everything else was spent on cigarettes and alcohol. Secondhand smoke. Spent 14 years of Erin smoking around me. I still have secondhand smoke. I can't stand to be around smoke, and God, I hate smokers. Erin started smoking when she was 9. She ditched middle school, went and got pregnant with some 20-year-old dude with my brother. My brother is my half-brother. Then later, she had me at 22 with my father. They weren't even sure if I was my father's. They had to do a test to see if Bruce was actually my dad. So, Erin obviously cheated a lot on my father. My father never did. My father was always loyal. He has my ability to love. He knows love, and he loved her. Obviously, I was a mistake. I was an accident. I wasn't meant to happen. But he loved me, you know? Somebody texted me. Yeah, my half-brother. He's the only part of my... Oh. Okay, sorry. My brother's the only one who understands because he went through it too. Fortunately for him, unfortunately for me, he was able to escape at some point. He ran away. He couldn't take me with because it would be considered kidnap. But he went through mom's shit too. Aaron's shit. Sorry. I cut myself and bit myself a lot. These might be the most vibrant scars that you could see. Ring. Shit. I had... Let's see. This one... Can you see that one? This one is from 8th grade, where I bit myself. This one was from sophomore year. I bit myself. God, there are so many scars on my arm. It's not even funny. I had one that I did with my nails because I didn't have access to anything else. It was 4 inches long. It was 1 inch thick. And because of that, I now am in the habit of carrying my backpacks only over this shoulder and not this one because it hurts so bad that I couldn't bend my hand. I couldn't move it very much. My excuse was that I fell on it, but I couldn't go back to put my other strap on my other arm. So now it feels weird if I put the straps on both arms. I carved my initials into my wrist. I carved hate into my wrist like you saw in that other video. I cut my wrist just to see the blood. I cut my leg. Erin used to work at a hotel, and she brought me with because there was no babysitter. I was 6. I don't know if you can even see it. It's so faint. It's still there, but it's so faint. Got burned with a cigarette. Mrs. Gray was a choir teacher. You may know her as Adam Lambert's high school choir teacher. Yes, same woman. She hated me. And I was in The Music Man in junior year. She hated me. And I was upset. You know, I'm sure she didn't understand that I had manic depressive disorder. She took me outside and she shouted at me and told me, you know, how... I don't even remember exactly what she said. She said that she didn't like my appearance, she didn't like my attitude or whatever. She yelled at me so much, upset me so much that I threw up, and I sat there the entire rehearsal. And to this day, even though she was much nicer to me senior year, to this day, I am still afraid of her. Kids at school used to spit at me. I'm so afraid of people that, well, I still sort of am, but I'm better now. But I was so afraid of people, I thought that compliments were sarcastic. I thought when somebody said, "Hey, I like your shirt," I thought it was like, "Hey, I like your shirt." I was afraid to speak. My stepdad, Mike, was finally arrested after... Well, there was one time where he took me by the wrist and threw me into my room, but he was finally arrested after he had put scratches on my back. He had scratched my back trying to get at me and Aaron, and he hurt Aaron too, but I already went over that. Death threats. I had people in my classroom. I had a girl tell me she was going to kill me in front of the teacher. Everybody heard it. She didn't get in trouble, but I got pulled out of the class because I was crying. This is where karma comes in, because she ended up not graduating, so, but still. I also got threatened to... I got death threat from somebody in 7th grade, too. Mike, a stepdad, almost pushed me off a bridge. Tyler, he mentally abused me. We were together for a month, and he would mentally abuse me because he knew that I was weak and manipulatable. I don't know. I don't care. And he said one day, "I'm thinking about breaking up with you." And he did. Well, he did eventually, but he said, "Don't talk to me for a week, because I don't know if I'm going to break up with you." Well, I didn't. But he would come up to me and comfort me because I was crying. And then he'd go, you know, "Don't talk to me." Found out, immediately after he officially broke up with me, he started going out with one of my so-called best friends. Apparently, they were going out before he broke up with me. Ariel was one of my best friends. But then she became a compulsive liar. And started doing drugs and stuff. Obviously, you know about my manic depression. I was so alone that I played with dolls until I was like 15. I drew pictures of people getting slaughtered. Even at a young age, I actually drew a picture of Mike with like needles in him and bleeding to death. I drew worlds with no men. I tried making stories where there were no men on the planet. I'm still afraid of men. I put down lies I have told. Shit. I should have put what I was specifically thinking of. Well, I know I cut myself on my leg once, and Senpai asked what it was, and I said it was an injury from work, but it wasn't. Oh my god, what have I lied about? Well, that was a complete waste of putting it there. See, I don't lie, but I know there are always lies that... When I was in 4th grade, I thought I was a werewolf. Well, I pretended to be a werewolf, and I convinced my friends that I was a werewolf. You know, children do stuff like that. I was listening to music really loud, and I had my headphones on. Apparently, she was trying to talk to me or something. I didn't hear her come into my room, but I felt this really hard smack on my head. And it really hurt. And I flipped around, and I was like, "What are you doing? What did I do?" And I freaked out, and You know, it's just like, hey, you're not answering me. How about I hit you instead of nudge you on your shoulder? Being called ugly, this is another reason why I still think to this day that I'm ugly, is I've been called ugly so much by so many people that I believe it. I know there's still a lot of people who call me cute and pretty and say that I'm beautiful, and these are people that I trust. These are people who I love. These are people who I care about, and I just can't believe them. When somebody says I'm pretty, I go, or no, I'm not. I look like my mother, and I've been called ugly face to face by people and on the internet. I was tricked into thinking I was fat because of Caitlin Rakowski. That's the first time I ever starved myself. She was very big, but she was also a compulsive liar, and this is why I hated her so much. We had our weight taken during a physical test in PE, and she said, "Hi. Sorry about that. Michael came home." It's a good thing too, because it was 6 o'clock. It was actually like 6:15, and I hadn't taken my medicine. So he said, "Have you taken your medicine?" I said, "No." And he said, "Take it." And I broke. What did he say? I think he said, fuck, what did he say? See, when this happens, I can't remember things. Apparently, the other night I had a really bad breakdown, and I don't remember a single thing. The last thing I remember is working on the hate at first sight picture. What did he say? Fuck. I don't remember. I don't even remember where I was. So, because of Caitlin, obviously, she, after the physical, she said that she weighed like 105 pounds. She was a bigger girl. So I thought, well, if she weighs 105, I don't know why I was so naive. I thought if she's 105 pounds, I must be ginormous, because at the time, I was 120. So I starved myself for the first time. And it was painful, but I'm still hungry. I'll eat later. Yeah. Upbringing, and it still hurts. Upbringing was a song I wrote after I got a comment making fun of me because I had been abused. And I know trolls, okay? I know trolls, but that just hit it. So usually I will compose the music first, and then I'll come up with the melody. Lately, I've been improvising it as I go. So what I'll do is I'll listen to it and I'll start making up words, and then phrase by phrase by phrase I'll sing it, and I don't write down the lyrics anymore. But Upbringing was very painful to write. It was a very emotional song, but it's one of my best songs. Mama, you told me the world wasn't ugly, full of sunshine and rainbows and jars filled with candy. How did you think that you would fool me? Mama once told me that she'd always love me and nothing would hurt her sweet little baby. Everyone will love you, she said, because you are the sweetest child. Obviously there's harmony in the songs, but it's a perfect world. I try to remind myself, Mama loves me. Mama once told me that I didn't have to try hard, that I wouldn't get anywhere anyway. Mama once told me that she'd always love me, but now her voice is otherwise. Back then I didn't know it wasn't normal for sunshine and rainbows to turn black. Mama, I told you that I'd always hate you for the hell and torment you put me through. And then jumble. But you lied. And it's really pretty. I'm actually looking forward to re-recording it when I do, and it still hurts. Was it one of my completely improvised songs? I don't know why. I was completely stable, but I needed to get it out for some reason.
I wrote a song about you once. I've written songs about myself, but I can never get over it. 'Cause every time I go through hell, when I fall down into the depths of my mind, you're there, and I don't want you to be, so go away. You haunt my dreams, and every time I have to bring up what's wrong with me, I remember you, and I remember what you've done. I wish I could tell you face to face how much I hurt, but I'd never tell you that until you're on your deathbed. 'Cause next time I see you, I hope you'll be dying, and I'll make you miserable. Daddy never put me through this. Yes, he was a bad father, but he never touched me. He never touched me. But Mama, I can't even explain to you how much it hurts whenever I see your face.
I was trying not to cry.
Mama, whenever someone talks about you, I hurt no matter how happy I am without you. I've read journals from back when I was still with you, and I see how miserable I was, and I don't wanna feel like this anymore. I just wish you would leave my mind. I just wish you would leave my dreams. I wish I could erase the memories of you, even though I'm happy where I am, and it all happened for a reason. It doesn't change the fact that I want you dead. All the hate I have in the world goes to you. I don't care what anyone says, you cannot change. You'll always be the devil in my eyes or someone else's. At least my brother knows you. At least he understands that you can't change. But no one listens to us, 'cause we were the victims, and he was lucky to get out before it got that bad. I thought I loved you when I was a child because I didn't understand what was wrong. I thought everybody's parents were like you. I didn't know. But Mama, please just leave me alone. I don't wanna be like this. And since I'm like this, you always haunt me. Since I'm like this, I can't forget. Since I'm like this, I cry when I don't want to. And whenever I fall, it's always, why didn't Mama love me? It must have been my fault. Why else would she have done it? No matter how much people say it's not my fault, whenever I fall, I always believe it. And whenever somebody asks, where's your mom? I say, I don't have one. I don't have a mom.
I didn't intend to start crying. It just came out.
Why?
The same thing happened when I decided to watch some tapes that I found in the attic. And I was looking at some pictures of me when I was younger. And I left it in the video where I was rewinding one of the tapes and I just broke down and I said this was a bad idea. That was that. It's the most serious improvised song I ever made. Speaking of the videotapes, I could have sworn there were 3, but here's the only 2 I could find. I don't know where the 3rd one went. I watched them. There is nothing sentimental in here. I keep the journals because that really shows my mind, but this showed the physical. It's like it confirmed everything about myself, and I wanted to burn these, but I don't have a way or a chance of burning them, so what we're gonna do, and I want to get this on camera so that whenever I feel like this, I could just watch it and know that it's gone. Just as part of my closure, I'm going to destroy these. But I have to find a hammer. Tape number 1. This was the first one I watched, the one where I noticed my wrist. There are people outside. This has got to be done. Okay. This is for bringing me into this world. This is for making 14 years of my physical life miserable. This is for making the rest of my life up to this point mentally miserable. I wish I had a hammer, but this is not working as well as I planned. This is for breaking a wooden spoon over my head. I missed. This is for constantly using the wooden spoon against me. This is for making me afraid of things. This is for making me hate Mother's Day. This is hurting my hand. This is for making me think I couldn't do anything. This is for not helping me. This is for not taking care of me. This is for all of the years that I freaking starved. This is for all the lies you told. This is for my childhood you took away. This is for you still living. This is for people trusting you. This is for people thinking you would change. This is for everyone who you convinced that it was my fault